President Trump formally asked Congress on Tuesday to rescind more than $9 billion in already approved funding for foreign aid and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. This change would affect local public broadcasting in the Valley, including Arizona PBS. Here to tell us more on what could happen next is Scott Woelfel, General Manager at Arizona PBS. Scott, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
Let me ask you about this rescission part of it. We've heard in the past about cutting back funding for public broadcasting, but rescission, is this funding that stations like Arizona PBS have already committed to spending on projects?
It's to fund our budget for the upcoming year. And of course, it was approved, enacted, signed into law earlier. And so this, clawback is something that's fairly unprecedented and a big challenge to stations.
Well, so let me ask you about this. For folks who are passionate public broadcasting fans, every time there's a Republican administration typically, or good majorities of Republicans in Congress, this issue is sort of brought up. We'll see, should CPB get funding to give money to PBS, to give money to NPR? How is this particular situation different from the ones we faced before?
Stations are really battling on two fronts now because the ongoing conversation about future funding still exists. We're funded, CPB, Corporation for Public Broadcasting, is funded 2 years in advance, in part to take politics out of it. And so the discussions this fall would be ostensibly for the FY 28 and 29 budget. So the money that's talking about being clawed back, which I said was already enacted, is for the 26-27 years, and hence the $1.1 billion total for all of CPB. And that's it. We're really fighting on these two fronts and trying to make sure that we've got what we need to go forward.
So let's talk about a little bit misperceptions.
Yeah.
For those who focus just on political coverage, they may or may not find something to have disputes with, but there's so much more that public broadcasters like Arizona PBS do. I'm thinking in terms of serving rural communities, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been to Washington to talk to our legislators and try to explain this. In a lot of cases, it's not really known. Take education, for example. We have about 20% of our staff that's dedicated to education here. They're really not touching what's going on in the air. This is all outreach to the community, and it's all over the state, especially in underserved areas. We're helping students directly with preschool programs. If you look nationwide, about 50% of students don't have access to organized preschool. That's almost 80% in Arizona. And so we're stepping into that breach and helping kids get that head start. We're also helping teachers with professional development to get ahead, and lesson plans into classrooms. All those things are at risk with this funding cut.
There's a tremendous educational component. I've even seen sometimes on your website, there are things, and there have been hopes of getting more people who are almost ambassadors in the community, right?
We do. We have people all over the state, so we have employees who are all over the state, and we're also working in schools with teachers and principals and, of course, families. An example is we have summer camps that we operate that help kids with, early letter recognition, word recognition, the thing, ages 2 to 5, the things they would be concerned with. And we see astonishing results. Kids, getting 50% improvement, 100% improvement on those early childhood tasks because of the camps that we run. That is funded through, in part, the money that we get from federal government. And those things are going to go away if we don't have these funds.
And I come back to the rural component just to say that it's not a case where if just the big markets survive, like let's say a market like Phoenix, if all were to go well, maybe Phoenix has enough people here who can support it, but when you go to smaller communities, that may not be the case.
That's true. We're in a bit of a unique situation here because between us and Arizona Public Media in Tucson, we cover about almost 100% of the state and 80% from Arizona PBS itself. And so you've got a large organization here that's reaching out to those other parts of the state. When you look across the country, there are states, Michigan has 8 public media stations in it. And so there are small communities that have their own station. Those are the stations that really are at risk. We get about 10 to 12% of our funding from federal funding. In smaller stations, it could be 50 or 60%.
Let's talk a little bit more about content, this particular program, but there are many others. There's Horizonte. I don't know if Check Please fits into that, but Trail Mix. These are programs that are produced here specifically for this community. Let's talk about the importance of preserving those.
The programming that we broadcast out, whether we're producing it ourselves or it comes from BBC, PBS, of course, other places, that's what people know us most for. And that is also at risk through this. I've been in conversations with people throughout the public media system, and conversations are already happening because this has not been a surprise, this rescission measure. What do we do less of to weather this storm? And it's going to mean fewer programs, whether it's fewer episodes of popular programs like Nova or Masterpiece, or shows going away completely because the money's not there to fund them. That's what we're trying to sort through now. And the same is true with our local productions.
Yeah. Well, viewers will notice the quality difference, one would think, right?
They will. They'll see more reruns. They'll see fewer shows. They'll see, on the local front, we're trying to expand. We're trying to do more content that's relevant to our viewers and that comes, is created with the communities that we serve. And that's going to be hard to do.
One thing that comes to mind for me too, and there was an argument how many years ago it was, I can't remember now, but things that said, well, there are cable networks or there are streamers that take care of certain things. And yet there are people in our communities who can't afford to have 5 streamers like some of us can, right?
Well, that's the main point, and that's a continuing argument. Well, this is different. The Public Broadcasting Act in 1967 is might as well be centuries away. Well, true, but at the same time, we provide all these services for free to the public. And the other thing is that I think is often ignored in that idea is that educational programming on PBS is all created by and vetted by educational professionals. It's not created by an algorithm as some of the streaming services may be. And so it really is educational in the true sense of the word.
I want to ask you in a moment as we close up, but about call to action or whatnot. But at this point, I mean, you're in some of these meetings. We have a congressional delegation. Is there reason to think that though this is a major threat, that there are really ways through it, or are you on pins and needles right now?
I, like most GMs across the country, we're on pins and needles. And I think the good news, if I can impart you with some good news for you, is that the public may have a big say in what happens here. Support from the public is really going to help turn this if it's going to turn for us. We've been asking over the last few months for support from our public, and we've seen a great response across the country. About 500,000 people across the country have reached out to legislators through an organized program that we have set up with other stations, and we're asking people now to step up and do even more.
Well, and Scott, as we close, finally, do you think that people are getting the message and saying, because there are times where, I mean, how many of us get things in the mail, we think, oh, okay, they're saying they need something, but this is real. Are you feeling that there's momentum to get assistance, and how would you like the public to react right now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we very intentionally do not cry wolf, and you don't see solicitation from us that says, give us your money or we're going to go away, because that's not the case. But some of what we do can go away, and so that's where we're asking for. And we're not asking for money today. We're asking for communication to reach out to your legislators. And so we've got a graphic that we'll put up on the screen. But Protect My Public Media is the name of the program. It's a joint venture between the PBS stations and NPR as well. And it's an easy way to connect to your legislators. You can go to the website. It'll very quickly connect you both digitally for email, but also in an automated phone call that then you can have with your congressional representative. And those are really important right now, the phone calls, because they pay attention to that. And we've seen a tremendous surge already, but we want to drive home even more. So I'm going to urge the audience, if you call today or you call tomorrow and you can't get through, call the next day, because this is really important to making our point.
Okay. Scott, thank you and good luck.
Thank you.